May 2nd, 2011. 1 a.m., Abbottabad, Pakistan. 23 of America's most elite warriors descend from the night sky in stealth helicopters. Their target, the most wanted man on Earth, Osama bin Laden. What happens in the next 38 minutes will change history forever. This is the story of DEDURU, SEAL Team 6, the tip of America's spear. They are the ghosts that kings and terrorists fear, the silent professionals who operate in the darkest corners of the world. And their motto says it all: the only easy day was yesterday. Welcome to the world of Naval Special Warfare Development Group, where America sends its best warriors when failure is not an option. Chapter 1: Birth of the Counter-Terrorists. November 4th, 1979. Tehran, Iran. 52 Americans taken hostage at the U.S. Embassy. The world watches as a superpower is humiliated. President Jimmy Carter authorizes Operation Eagle Claw, a daring rescue mission deep into hostile territory. But on April 24, 1980, disaster struck in the Iranian desert. Equipment failures, a helicopter crashes into a transport plane, 8 American servicemen died. The mission aborted before it even began. The failure is catastrophic, but from the ashes of Eagle Claw, a legend is born. His mission: create a dedicated maritime counterterrorism unit, give them whatever they need, make them the best in the world, and do it in 6 months. On October 1st, 1980, SEAL Team 6 was officially commissioned. The name itself is psychological warfare. At the time, there were only 2 SEAL teams. The Soviets would waste resources searching for the Phantom Teams 3, 4, and 5. Marcinko handpicked 75 operators from existing SEAL teams. But these aren't just SEALs. They're the best of the best, the most aggressive, the most skilled, the most willing to operate in the gray zones where America's enemies hide. The training is brutal beyond imagination. Live-fire shooting houses, thousands of rounds downrange every week, breaching techniques that push the limits of physics, close-quarters battle drills executed with surgical precision, and the mindset? Different from any other unit in the world. Team 6 doesn't just train to standard, they train until failure is impossible. Chapter 2: Evolution into DevGru. Before we continue with the most classified operations in military history, if you're fascinated by the world's most elite warriors, smash that like button and subscribe. Next week, we're diving into the British SAS, the grandfathers of all modern special forces who stormed the Iranian embassy and inspired units around the world. You won't want to miss it. By 1987, SEAL Team 6 had evolved far beyond Marcinko's original vision. The unit was restructured and renamed United States Naval Special Warfare Development Group, DEDGRU. The name change isn't just bureaucratic. It reflects a new mission: developing and testing tactics, techniques, and equipment for the entire SEAL community. But that's the public story. DEDGRU is now America's maritime Tier 1 Special Mission Unit, operating alongside Delta Force at the highest levels of classified operations. The selection process becomes legendary. Candidates must already be SEALs with combat deployments. Then comes Green Team, 6 months of the most intense training in the world. Failure rate: 70% or higher. Those who make it join one of the assault squadrons: red, blue, gold, and silver. Each squadron specializes in different operational profiles: hostage rescue, direct action raids, counter-proliferation, high-value target capture or kill. The 1980s and 90s saw DevGru deployed globally in operations that remain classified to this day: Central America, the Middle East, Africa. Wherever America needs its most elite problem solvers. Then came September 11, 2001, and everything changes. The war on terror becomes DEDGRU's defining crucible. Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Somalia, Pakistan. The operators deploy again and again, conducting thousands of missions that never make the news. They rescue hostages from pirates in the Indian Ocean. They capture or kill high-value targets in the mountains of Afghanistan. They conduct precision raids in urban environments where one wrong shot could trigger international incidents. And they do it all in complete secrecy. Chapter 3: Operation Neptune Spear. April 29, 2011. CIA Director Leon Panetta briefs President Obama. We found him. For nearly 10 years, the world's most wanted terrorist has evaded capture. But now, through painstaking intelligence work, the CIA has identified a suspicious compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. The man inside? almost certainly Osama bin Laden, the mastermind of 9/11s. President Obama faces an impossible decision. A ground raid risks American lives and could spark a diplomatic crisis with Pakistan, a nuclear-armed nation that doesn't know we're coming. An airstrike would destroy evidence and kill innocent civilians. But doing nothing? Unacceptable. Obama greenlights the raid, and there's only one unit for a mission this critical. DevGru. The assault force is drawn from Red Squadron. 23 operators, 24 of the most skilled warriors on Earth, backed by Army Special Operations Aviation Flying Stealth Blackhawks. The planning is meticulous. Scale models of the compound, rehearsals at a full-size replica built in North Carolina. Every contingency was war-gamed, every angle studied. May 1st, 2011. The assault force takes off from Jalalabad, Afghanistan. They fly low, hugging the terrain, evading Pakistani radar. At 1 a.m. local time, they arrive at Objective Geronimo. The first helicopter attempts to hover over the compound for a fast rope insertion. But the walls create unexpected air currents. The aircraft loses lift and crashes hard into the courtyard. But DEDERU trains for this. The operators flow off the downed bird, immediately establishing security. The second helicopter drops its assault team outside the compound walls. Within seconds, they're breaching their way in. The assault is surgical. The operators move through the compound with practiced precision, clearing rooms, securing civilians, and neutralizing threats. Third floor. The operators stack outside the final door. What happens next takes less than 15 seconds. The door explodes inward. 2 SEALs flood the room. In the darkness, lit only by their weapon-mounted lasers, they identify the target. Osama bin Laden. 2 suppressed shots. Center mass. Then 1 more to the head. For God and country. Geronimo, Geronimo, Geronimo. Then, Geronimo EKIA. Enemy killed in action. The world's most wanted terrorist is dead. But the mission isn't over. The SEALs have trained for this moment. They gather every piece of intelligence in the compound. Hard drives, documents, thumb drives, bin Laden's body. Explosives are placed on the downed helicopter. The assault force loads into the remaining birds. 38 minutes after the first shots, they're airborne and heading back to Afghanistan. President Obama receives the confirmation. Mission success. 0 American casualties. The news breaks around the world. Spontaneous celebrations erupt across America. After nearly 10 years of war, justice has been delivered by the most elite warriors on Earth. Chapter 4. The Warriors and Their Weapons. So who are these operators? What makes DEVGRGRU different from every other special operations unit? First, selection. DEDGRGRU doesn't recruit civilians. Every candidate must already be a SEAL with multiple deployments. They must be nominated by their command. They must pass extensive psychological evaluations. Then comes Green Team. 6 months of hell. Candidates fire tens of thousands of rounds. They train in shooting houses, aircraft, ships, and vehicles. They learn advanced breaching, medical skills, and high-risk demolitions. They parachute. They dive. They climb. Most importantly, they learn to think. DEVGRU operators aren't robots following orders. They're adaptive problem solvers who can improvise when plans fall apart. 70% don't make it. Those who do join an assault squadron and continue training for the rest of their careers. A DEDGRU operator might fire more rounds in a month than most infantry soldiers fire in their entire careers. The equipment is equally extraordinary. While standard-issue weapons are effective, DEEGRUI gets first access to bleeding-edge technology. Custom Heckler & Koch 416 rifles with suppressed barrels. Glock 19 pistols modified to perfection. Night vision that turns darkness into daylight. Communications systems that work anywhere on Earth. Classified breaching charges that can defeat any door or wall. Drones for reconnaissance. Laser designators for calling in precision airstrikes. And they test everything. If a piece of gear doesn't work in the field, DEDGRU sends it back with detailed feedback. They're not just operators, they're researchers and developers pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The training never stops. Urban warfare in mock cities, maritime operations from submarines and ships, high-altitude parachute jumps, hostage rescue scenarios where a single mistake means innocent people die. They train with Allied Special Forces, British SASARSA MATCAL, Australian SASAR. They share tactics and learn from the best operators worldwide. But the most important weapon? the man behind the gun. DEVGROU operators are selected for intelligence, adaptability, and psychological resilience. They can switch from friendly interactions with local civilians to lethal combat in seconds. They can operate in remote villages or five-star hotels. They speak multiple languages and understand cultural nuances. And they carry the weight of their mission with quiet professionalism. No bravado, no seeking glory. Just dedication to mission success and bringing their teammates home. Chapter 5, Modern Operations and Legacy, October 2013. Somalia, a fractured nation, no front lines, no uniforms, just intelligence fragments, satellite imagery, intercepted communications, and a name that keeps resurfacing. Abdul Qadir Mohammed Abdul Qadir, alias Ikrima, a senior al-Shabaab commander, a planner, a facilitator, a man believed to be orchestrating imminent attacks against Western targets in East Africa. Time is limited. Intelligence windows close fast. So DEEGRU moves. Under cover of darkness, operators insert from the sea in small boats, riding low in the water to avoid detection. No lights, no sound, just the steady rhythm of oars and engines barely above a whisper. They move inland silently, passing mud brick homes and narrow alleyways. Night vision turns the village into a monochrome maze. Every doorway is a question mark, every shadow a potential threat. They close on the target compound. And then, everything changes. The intelligence was wrong. The force encounters far heavier resistance than expected. Armed fighters flood into the area. Civilians appear where none were anticipated. The situation escalates rapidly, and with every passing second, the risk of civilian casualties grows. This is the moment that defines elite units, because this is where ego ends and discipline begins. The DEVRU ground force commander makes the call. Abort. The operators disengage with precision, extracting under pressure without panic, without chaos. No civilians are harmed. No operators are lost. The target escapes. To outsiders, it looks like failure. To professionals, it's the highest form of success. DEDRU could have fought through. They could have completed the mission at any cost. But that's not how they operate. Civilian lives matter, strategic consequences matter. Sometimes the hardest decision isn't pulling the trigger, sometimes it's walking away. And then, without headlines, without announcements, the work continues. ISIS leaders tracked, hunted, and eliminated in Syria and Iraq. Al-Qaeda facilitators neutralized in Yemen. Hostages rescued from Somalia, Nigeria, and beyond. Each operation planned with obsessive precision, each mission executed in silence. Most of these operations will never be acknowledged. No press conferences, no medals on display, no public credit, because that's the nature of DEFGRU. The most famous mission, Operation Neptune Spear, only became public because its strategic impact reshaped global counterterrorism. The vast majority of DEDGRU's successes remain locked behind classification walls, known only to a handful of decision-makers. But the cost is real. DEVGRU has lost operators in combat, in helicopter crashes, and in brutal training accidents that push human limits to their edge. The darkest day came on August 6, 2011. A Chinook helicopter, call sign Extortion 17, was shot down in Afghanistan. 17 DEVGRU operators killed, along with other U.S. service members and Afghan partners. The deadliest single loss in SEAL history. Their names remain classified, their faces unseen, but their sacrifice echoes through every team room, every training evolution, every mission brief that follows. They died doing exactly what they trained for, going into danger so others wouldn't have to. And still, the mission continues, because somewhere tonight, in a classified facility, DEDGRU operators are training, running drills in full kit, practicing breaching techniques, perfecting shots they hope they'll never have to take. Because somewhere tonight, intelligence analysts are tracking threats that haven't made the news yet. Plots still forming, names still unknown. Because somewhere tonight, an assault force is staged and readyable to launch within hours to almost anywhere on Earth. From the failed Iranian hostage rescue in the burning desert, a mission that exposed painful weaknesses and forced a hard reckoning, to the quiet streets of Abbottabad, where the world's most wanted terrorist was finally brought to justice. DEVGRU was forged in failure and refined by decades of relentless evolution. Every lesson learned the hard way. Every mistake paid for in blood, discipline, and reform. What began as an answer to catastrophe became the most capable maritime special operations force on Earth. They are not defined by one raid, not by one war, not by one headline. They are defined by consistency, by preparation, by the ability to succeed where failure is not an option, and to walk away when success would cost too much. They are the silent professionals, the men who move without recognition, who deploy without ceremony, who return without applause, warriors who operate in the shadows so others can live in the light. They do not seek fame, they do not chase medals, they do not speak of what they've done. They pursue mission success. They pursue precision. They pursue accountability to the teammate on their left and the one on their right. Because in their world, trust is survival, and ego is a liability. Their creed says everything that needs to be said. The only easy day was yesterday. It is not a slogan, it is a warning, a reminder that every day demands more discipline, more sacrifice, more readiness. And tomorrow, somewhere in the world, DEV GRU operators will step onto aircraft with no cameras present. They will receive orders that cannot be shared. They will move toward targets that do not yet exist in the public consciousness. And when the mission ends, whether in success or silence, they will fade back into the shadows, unknown, unrecognized, and ready to do it again. Because that is who they are. Next week on Elite Special Forces, we cross the Atlantic to Hereford, England, to uncover the origins of modern special operations itself, the legendary British SAS. From their creation in the deserts of World War II, conducting raids behind enemy lines, to the Iranian embassy siege of 1980, a single operation that redefined counterterrorism forever. Discover the unit that wrote the handbook, the force that inspired DED GRU, Delta Force, and elite units across the globe. Their philosophy is impact. Who dares wins. You won't want to miss it. Subscribe now and stay ready.